Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Biblio Fitness, and I do hope everyone's had a great day and made some fantastic gains. It's a nice hot day today, but it is quite beautiful. And today, I did start the new project, I suppose. The Ego and Its Own by Max Stirner. Yeah, Max Stirner. Max Stirner. A highly provocative book, and a lot of people say the precursor to Nietzsche and to Karl Marx. Uh, so, very important but often overlooked book. And I've only read the very beginning where he talks about like history and the self, or as a human being, we go through these three stages of childhood, of our youth, and then when we reach manhood or adulthood. Um, and there are three essential intrinsic behaviors that we follow, or that we have, pursuits that we have, that characterize each of those stages. Childhood, that we are very akin to reality, to the material world, and that's what breeds our curiosity. We have a sense to see through the object, or find the hidden things, the hidden ideas, the nook and crannies, the vulnerabilities and weaknesses of other people and other things around us. That's what happens when we're children. That's why we're very good at hiding and finding nooks and crannies and back ways and such, because our courage and our curiosity supersedes, or is more important. That pursuit through that courage is more important than the possible repercussions, whether it be the rod, literally, punishment by our parents, the stern look of our fathers, and so on. And we our 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 calmness and our ability to not falter and to persevere and to continue on with our um, insatiable seeking of more hidden things, we are able to overcome and become more than what we used to be scared of, right? Like our parents and all that bullshit. So then we go on to youth, which is, I believe, uh, when we start looking into ideas, no longer at just the data of things, no longer just looking at the world through a cause and effect, right? That this happened and this and then this and then this and so on and so forth. But we start looking at the ideas behind these actions. We start delving into the realm of ideals, right? We start delving into the world of religions and philosophy. We start trying to figure out what this all is about. So we dive in. We go through what he calls our first true revelation, or something like that. The revelation of the mind. Our thoughts, what we think becomes what we are, right? What our reality is. And the crazy shit, and the crazy thing he points out, is how we allow these ideas to dominate us. We forget that we are the parents of these ideas. We are the ones that allow these thoughts and conclusions hold so much importance over us. The truth and justice and good and evil and all these these banners and all these trigger words throughout our history, are outside of ourselves. I believe that's one of the very antithetical the antithetical stand that he makes to present morality and where it stands, right? Like, because all of these things are found outside of oneself. We are nothing. We are insignificant compared to the realization of something bigger than you. Your ideas, your life has to fall prey and to become second and to subserve to the ideas imposed by another individual. One can see how elite theory starts stemming from this and all that shit, because it goes back to the individual. I guess something like stoicism, even though good and all that stuff is still found outside, we start to follow the good from, laws imposed by another, if you really think about it. Whether you want to believe in the claims of divine revelation and all that, to my opinion, absurdity, that's up to you. But that is the point, and that's why he talks about onanism and the ego. And I believe that's why he goes into adulthood, when a person finally realizes the truth, starts spending time in the ideals and how things should be and how things could be according to our own bullshit perceptions of what is right and wrong that we adopted from someone else. We understand, we dive as far as what supposed truth is, but we never really dive into what constitutes the truth, who imposed this truth. And we don't dive that deep into those things. We just adopt it because we're lazy, most of us, or we just really don't really think that far. You have to go beyond the pale of morality in order to ask these sort of questions. These questions that have now become common for me to ask. I tend to forget how, I'm not trying to do this like to toot my own horn, but if you really do follow a religion or something like that wholeheartedly, and you're still in that youthful phase of idealism, you're not going to be able to ask these questions, will you? I don't know. But yeah, I can already tell that this guy is going to be fun to read. I know that he was not a very well-known man. He had this, and that was basically it. But hey, fuck it. I can't wait to read some more of it. But I can already see the origins or the seas as which future philosophers will use. I'm not saying that he's the only progenitor. That'd be absurd, but given how important this man does become to later philosophers and later ideas, this contrast, this dualism that is always very important, the way that we see things, right? That our spirit and our body are two different entities. One is opposed to the other. At the end, it really is following the whims of another, the victor. And that's why he really he says that, or he writes that in our adulthood we realize that it's only our interests that matter. And obviously this goes against the metaphysical and the absolute truths and all these things that keep us together as a society. These are customs that we've all adopted as truth. The social contract, as it were. These are very crazy ideas to dive into, so can't wait to give my thoughts on even more of this before I go on any further into mumbo jumbo. But because I've been looking more into elite theory as well, even though I actually need to read more by people like on the dissident right, like academic agent and such, that they have, he's talked about it, semiagog, and I'm just being more and more exposed to all these ideas, and I honestly, it just makes sense that this is the reality of the thing, right? Once you realize Christianity or religion for what it is, this is all you've left. This is all you're left, and that's the black pill that everyone is so afraid of, right? That you're kind of fucked a lot of the times, and you just do what you can with what you have. But there are those who are just on another level, and it's just the way of things. So let's see what this guy comes up with, and let's it's I can already tell it's gonna be fucking amazing. But hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all had a great day. Hope this inspires you to read some. I'm not assuming that you haven't already, but I find this to be a most noble of activity, even though I'm well aware that it's for selfish reasons. It's just justifying my inherent behavior. Right? That's why I believe that reading as important as it is, even though scientifically or from a value-free perspective, reading is advantageous anyway. So But yeah, hope you have a great day. Hope you all make some beautiful gains. And by the way, I did get a new tattoo. I forgot that I didn't even show it. But yeah, it's the Roman eagle, um, appropriate to the SPQR tattoo that I got. So your boy is A+ certified. I finally passed my second exam, and it's on its way from the mail, even though I have it in PDF, of course. So gonna start updating my resume and start looking for some jobs and see what happens, man. So good things are coming. I just got to keep suffering, which is the beautiful part of it. But I hope you all have a great day. Love y'all, and peace.